frame 6, or match 6 of the evening session here at the Taom Shootout in Aberdeen sees England versus Scotland. It's the playboy, James Jack from Scotland, to break off, playing against Callum Singleton, who so far has been very impressive today. First off, beating Cian Monaghan in an excellent match, and then taking down Mr. Shootout himself in Jordan Shepherd. Only the third time in all the 8 shootouts we've had that Jordan Shepherd has lost a match. And Callum Singleton has played some brilliant pools so far, probably only bettered by Chris Melling, although he has 2 wins to show for his 2 matches. And it is Callum that gets the first opportunity after that break from James Jack. With the form so far that Callum has shown today, you'd fully expect him to take this clearance out. Those yellows are sitting as nicely as they possibly could be for him. Callum's 2 victories today came by 3 frames to 2 scorelines. Hasn't got to 4 frames yet, but he has played Jordan Shepherd, the man that's owned the shootout 5 times in 7 events. And Cian Monaghan, one of the really rising stars on the shootout scene. As George Riley joins me back in the commentary box. What's the atmosphere like out in the arena?
Really good. Really good, despite that last match, which wasn't one that I think will make the end of season Taom Shootout highlights DVD.
It wasn't the best, let's be honest.
But I think there's an air of anticipation. The atmosphere this afternoon for the Tornado Dennis Taylor was quite something, and he's up against, well, one of the greatest players ever to pick up a pool cue, you would argue, in Chris Melling. That's next.
As Callum Singleton gets the first frame on the board, and he continues to do what he's been doing all day, gets himself in front. Yeah, Chris Melling, for me, absolutely one of the greats of the game. He's shown that so far today as well. It's not just the fact that the way he's played. He's won 1 and he's drawn 1, but it's the style of the way he's played. Really looking forward to seeing him get back out there again. Not quite sure of the mathematics, so I'm not quick enough to work them out, but if Callum wins his match, this match here, he'll go to 6 points, and I'm not sure that he'll be caught, and he'll have 1 foot in the quarterfinals. I'm not sure it'd quite be mathematically there, but it'd be pretty close. Still plenty left in this match. And it's Callum's turn to come up dry. He didn't catch that break particularly well, although he's had a real roll of fortune there. Left James Jack. I don't think James can do anything from here. He couldn't see enough of the red to pot it. With all the balls clustered together in the bottom half of the table, could be in for a little bit of a tactical battle. Well, Callum choosing to be aggressive, takes on yellows. These could open out for him. I think there's a yellow in the middle of the pack that goes to the bottom right corner. I think it sneaks by the one nearest the pocket. He may just be able to open a few things up. He may be able to pick this one apart rather than needing to create cannons and nudge anything open. Yeah, used all the pocket. Didn't have a full pocket to pop that in. So an excellent pot. Choices to both centre pockets. And 2 shots ago, this looked congested and awkward. They're now open. He's worked these really well, picked them apart, just needs a couple more good positional shots. I think he'd like to be straight enough to be able to just stay on the one in the middle of the table. I don't think he is. Or he's going to try to. In fact, he was able to hold comfortably. Doesn't really help him playing it off that yellow. I don't think he can avoid the reds when trying to land on this black. He may be able to just screw up, maybe even play into the red. If he catches the red half ball, he'll be okay. He caught it just a fraction too thin, and now it's awkward.
Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it?
It's one of those, he's tried to go for perfect position. If he catches the red full, he's got the black to the top right corner. If he catches it half ball, he got it to the centre.
Yeah, never looked like going in. I'm not even sure I'd have played that, you know. Didn't look like it was that forgiving an angle.
Probably felt, especially with a short shot clock, that he didn't have much choice, but I agree, I don't think that shot was on. It's the first time in this match, really, we've seen James Jack with his hand on the table. Just the one safety shot played so far in the one break. Complete control of this frame, doesn't need to chase the finish. Can wait for an opportunity, a shot or two down the line. He's laid a very good snooker. This is going to be very tough for Callum to hit. And he couldn't get particularly close, to be honest. Such was the snooker. Free shot for James, just to open everything up. Didn't matter if that red went in or not. And we should be 1-1 in a moment or two's time.
Oh,
that's a very big mistake from James Jack. That could be very significant in this match. He knows he should be clearing them up in that situation. Callum makes him pay. The difference between 1-1 and 2-0 in these short matches is huge. Callum 2-0 ahead. James Jack had his opportunities. And he'll be very frustrated not to take them.
yeah, you got to take your opportunities in a race to 5. In a race to 4, you have to even more. Well, you can tell it's not going to leave him, that is it?
You can tell he wants to get it out of his head, but he can't.
No.
He's there shaking his head, doing everything he can.
That's the difference between the elites. It's those who can.
And that always happens. Well, at least what you think as a pool player. You make a bad mistake in the previous frame, you come up dry in the very next frame, and you sit there for more punishment.
Three matches of the evening session remaining after the conclusion of this one. Don't go anywhere. Next up, we have two of the finest players to pick up a queue. The 1985 World Snooker Champion, the Tornado, Dennis Taylor. We're not convinced he knows the rules.
I'm convinced he doesn't know the rules.
Certainly in his debut outing this afternoon, his strategy, if that's the right word for it, was very much get your head down and pop the first ball you see, and then pop the next one, and then hit a brick wall about 4 balls in. And he's played the crowd, and he's up against, well, one of the very best pool players on the planet, in Chris Melling. Who's outrageously good, wasn't he?
He's been brilliant today. I know he's only won, Callum's won 2 matches today, but we're still talking about Chris Melling, because Chris Melling he's pretty much, you feel like every time he's walked to the table, he's cleared up. It was brilliant stuff from Liam Dunster to take him all the way for a draw in their previous match. The only thing you'd say with Chris Melling so far today, he's played too well. Normally, when he runs into trouble, he comes up with such outrageously good shots. He's such a shot maker. He hasn't needed to today because he's played such good pool to get himself into perfect position all the way through. He hasn't had to come up with anything too special. Maybe he's saving it for the Tornado. Well, Callum's tried a few times to land on this yellow without success. Had to leave it to his last ball in the end. He's on this yellow, but it's not easy.
What a shot. What a shot. Not missing much, is he?
He's been brilliant today. From what I've seen of Callum playing before, I kind of expected him to come in and just take to this format and take to this crowd and take to this arena. But it's one thing coming in and, you know, thinking you can do it. He's come in and he's shown everyone he's been calm, he's been comfortable, and he's played great pool all day. He's one frame away from... I think he's one frame away from the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact maths, but I'm pretty certain that would be the case.
Well, I'm looking at Group 1, Simon, already. I'm thinking if I'm Cian Monaghan going to bed tonight knowing I'm not playing again, and he's lost his first match, and he's been one of the star names in this Taom Shootout series on Freesports over the calendar year of 2019. I don't know how he gets out of the group, because Callum's not going to be caught, and then you've got Jordan Shepherd on 2 points, and there's... James Jack on 2 points as well. How does Cian get himself out of the group? I know he's only played 1 match, but blimey.
He'd have to win his 3 matches, wouldn't he? I think Callum wouldn't be officially out the group, because I think Cian could still get to 6 points. If Callum wins this match, he goes to 6 points. Cian could still get to 6. James Jack could still get to 6, and Jordan Shepherd could still get to 6. I know James and Jordan will play each other, but he's not 100%, but he's got 1 foot in there. He'd need some strange results to happen for him not to be in the quarterfinals. He's still got to win this match, but at 3-0 up, 6 minutes on the clock, and this frame looks like it's got a little bit of mileage in it. He's all but over the line. No attempt at the pot from Callum, just take the pocket. James just has to throw his cue at this. He needs to find something, somehow. As unlikely as it is, he just has to try. A tactical frame is no good to him. He needs to win 3 frames in 5.5 minutes to get anything out of this match. James is playing with the air of a man that knows his race is run in this match. There's still no major advantage for Callum to even think about going for a clearance. The yellows are awkward. Just keep it tight.
Well, there was an air of resignation in that shot, wasn't there?
Oh, completely. He knows he's done in this match, and Callum might get to do something he's not done yet so far today, and that's get to 4 frames now. He won his previous 2 matches 3 frames to 2. This time, that free shot's allowed him just to nudge the balls open, and he has a nice clean run to the line.
Only half the matches so far has seen one of the players reach 4. I think 8 out of 16 by my maths.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm surprised at that or not. We've seen a couple of matches only go 3 frames.
Well, we're used to playing half an hour in a race to 5, so if you're shaving 10 minutes off and only asking them to get a frame fewer, then perhaps it's not that big a surprise.
No, and we weren't seeing all those matches go, you know, a lot of those matches were being done, you know, before we got to the 5 frame mark anyway, so it doesn't take away from the excitement for me. I really enjoy this format. The extra pressure of the time match really adds something to it.
And this is going to be 4-0. First 4-0 of the day. From probably the star of the day. What a performance. 3 wins out of 3. Callum Singleton absolutely flying. It's another dominant victory, and he's 1 foot already into the knockout stage tomorrow night. 3 matches to go. Do not go anywhere, because we're live on Freesports TV next for Dennis Taylor against Chris Melling. We'll be right back.